Welcome to today's video about diazepam side effects. What if I told you that a pill sitting in millions of medicine cabinets right now could be silently rewiring your brain? A medication so trusted that doctors prescribe it without hesitation. Yet research reveals 9 terrifying side effects that most patients never hear about. This is diazepam, also known as Valium. And the truth about what it does to your body will leave you speechless. Before we expose these research-backed dangers that could change everything you thought you knew about this medication, if you're new here, welcome to our community. We're on a mission to uncover medical truths that matter. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our life-changing health investigations. And here's something special. Drop your country in the comments below. We're building a global awareness movement, and we want to know where our health warriors are watching from. Now, are you ready to discover what 9 major studies reveal about diazepam's hidden dangers? Let's dive in. All right, here are the side effects of diazepam, starting with the first one: drowsiness and fatigue. The moment diazepam enters your bloodstream, it begins its assault on your consciousness. Research published in the British Journal of Clinical Pharmacology reveals a disturbing truth. This medication doesn't just calm your nerves, it hijacks your brain's alertness centers. Scientists discovered that diazepam significantly impairs cognitive alertness, especially in older adults who are already vulnerable to cognitive decline. But here's where it gets truly concerning. The drowsiness isn't just a mild inconvenience, it's a profound alteration of your brain's natural state. Studies show that diazepam acts as a positive allosteric modulator of GABA-A receptors, flooding your neural pathways with inhibitory signals. This means your brain's ability to maintain normal wakefulness becomes compromised, creating a fog that can persist long after you think the medication has worn off. The implications are staggering. Imagine trying to navigate your daily responsibilities while your brain operates in a perpetual state of suppression. Research indicates this isn't temporary drowsiness. It's a fundamental disruption of your neurological baseline. The longer you use diazepam, the more your brain adapts to this artificially suppressed state, making it increasingly difficult to function without the medication. Next, side effect number 2, cognitive impairment. Now we enter perhaps the most alarming territory: what diazepam does to your thinking abilities. A comprehensive study published in Current Medical Research and Opinion delivered devastating findings that should make anyone pause before taking this medication. Researchers discovered that diazepam doesn't just slow you down, it systematically dismantles your cognitive architecture. The study revealed that diazepam impairs attention, memory formation, and psychomotor performance in ways that researchers describe as widespread rather than selective. Think about that for a moment. This isn't a minor side effect affecting one aspect of thinking. It's a comprehensive assault on multiple cognitive domains simultaneously. Participants showed delayed response times, reduced memory consolidation, and impaired ability to process information efficiently. But the research gets even more disturbing. Meta-analyses examining long-term benzodiazepine users revealed that cognitive deficits persist even after withdrawal. A study published in Archives of Clinical Neuropsychology found that people who had successfully stopped using benzodiazepines still showed significant impairments in recent memory, processing speed, and working memory. The brain's recovery isn't guaranteed, and some changes may be permanent. This raises a terrifying question. Could diazepam be rewiring your brain in ways that last long after you stop taking it? Next, side effect number 3, dependence and withdrawal. Here's where diazepam's true nature reveals itself. The World Health Organization's expert committee report delivered a sobering assessment that should terrify anyone considering long-term use. Research shows that diazepam creates both physical and psychological dependence with frightening efficiency. But what exactly does this mean for your brain and body? Studies reveal that between 50 and 64% of research animals will self-administer diazepam, indicating its powerful addictive potential. In humans, the statistics are equally alarming. Research published in BMC Psychiatry found that over 50% of patients using benzodiazepines for more than 4 weeks develop physiological dependence. Your brain essentially becomes hijacked, requiring the medication just to maintain what it perceives as normal function. The withdrawal process is where this dependence becomes truly devastating. Clinical studies document withdrawal symptoms that can include anxiety, tremors, and life-threatening seizures. But here's the most insidious part. Research shows that withdrawal symptoms can emerge even from therapeutic doses used as prescribed. A study of high-dose benzodiazepine users found that withdrawal experiences are so severe they deter patients from future cessation attempts. The brain, having adapted to diazepam's presence, rebels violently when the medication is removed, creating a prison of chemical dependence that becomes increasingly difficult to escape. Next, side effect number 4. Muscle weakness. While diazepam's reputation as a muscle relaxant might seem beneficial, research reveals a darker reality. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Psychopharmacology uncovered how diazepam's muscle-relaxing properties become a double-edged sword, causing significant weakness and impaired coordination that extends far beyond therapeutic benefits. The mechanism behind this effect is particularly concerning. Diazepam enhances GABA activity not just in the brain, but throughout the nervous system, including the spinal cord circuits that control muscle tone and coordination. Research shows this creates a cascading effect where normal muscle function becomes suppressed, leading to weakness that can affect everything from fine motor control to basic physical stability. Studies examining diazepam's impact on muscle function reveal that users experience decreased muscle strength and impaired coordination that can persist even between doses. This isn't just about feeling relaxed. It's about your body's fundamental ability to maintain proper muscular control being compromised. For older adults, this muscle weakness combines with cognitive impairment to create a particularly dangerous situation where falls and injuries become significantly more likely. The research also indicates that tolerance to diazepam's therapeutic effects develops faster than tolerance to its muscle-weakening properties. This means that while the medication becomes less effective for its intended purpose, the debilitating muscle weakness continues, creating a situation where users experience harm without benefit. Next, side effect number 5. Respiratory depression. Now we encounter diazepam's most potentially lethal side effect. The FDA issued a black box warning in 2016, highlighting a terrifying reality. Diazepam can suppress your respiratory system to life-threatening levels, especially when combined with opioids or alcohol. This isn't theoretical. People die from this interaction. Research reveals that diazepam's enhancement of GABA activity extends to brainstem respiratory centers, the primitive neural circuits responsible for maintaining breathing. When these circuits become over-inhibited, your brain's automatic drive to breathe becomes compromised. Studies show this effect is dose-dependent and dramatically amplified when diazepam is combined with other central nervous system depressants. The statistics are sobering. Clinical data indicates that benzodiazepine-involved overdose deaths have increased dramatically, with many cases involving the combination of diazepam with opioid medications. What makes this particularly insidious is that respiratory depression can occur gradually, without obvious warning signs, until it reaches critical levels. Research published in pharmacovigilance studies reveals that even therapeutic doses of diazepam can cause respiratory complications in vulnerable populations, including the elderly and those with underlying respiratory conditions. The medication's long half-life means that respiratory depression risk persists for hours after taking a dose, creating extended periods of vulnerability where your brain's most basic life-sustaining function is compromised. Next, side effect number 6, paradoxical reactions. Prepare yourself for one of medicine's most perplexing phenomena. Research published in Psychopharmacology Bulletin documented cases where diazepam produces effects completely opposite to its intended purpose, a phenomenon scientists call paradoxical reactions. Instead of calming anxiety, some patients experience explosive agitation, aggression, and even hallucinations. Studies reveal this paradoxical effect occurs most frequently in children and elderly patients, populations already vulnerable to medication complications. Research indicates that up to 10% of elderly patients may experience these reverse reactions, transforming a medication intended to provide peace into a catalyst for psychological chaos. Scientists theorize this occurs because diazepam's effects on GABA receptors can disinhibit certain brain circuits, unleashing behaviors normally kept in check. The clinical manifestations are truly disturbing. Case studies document patients experiencing sudden onset of aggressive behavior, severe agitation, and vivid hallucinations after taking diazepam. These aren't minor personality changes. They're profound alterations that can make patients unrecognizable to their families. Research shows these reactions can occur even with first-time use and at therapeutic doses, making them unpredictable and potentially dangerous. What's particularly concerning is that these paradoxical reactions can be mistaken for worsening of the original condition, leading to increased dosing that exacerbates the problem. Studies emphasize the importance of recognizing these reactions quickly and discontinuing the medication immediately. But the damage to trust and psychological well-being may already be done. Next, side effect number 7, gastrointestinal distress. Your digestive system becomes an unexpected battlefield when diazepam enters your body. Research published in the International Journal of Clinical Pharmacology and Therapeutics reveals how this medication disrupts normal gastrointestinal function through its effects on the enteric nervous system, essentially your gut's own brain. Studies show that diazepam's enhancement of GABA activity extends to the massive network of neurons controlling digestive function. This creates a cascade of problems, including nausea, constipation, and dry mouth. But the research reveals something more insidious. These aren't temporary inconveniences, but signs of fundamental disruption to your body's digestive chemistry. Clinical studies document how diazepam slows gastric motility, the wave-like contractions that move food through your digestive tract. This creates a backup effect where food and digestive materials stagnate, leading to uncomfortable bloating, constipation, and altered nutrient absorption. Research indicates this can affect your body's ability to properly process not just food, but other medications as well. The gastrointestinal effects also create a feedback loop that can worsen anxiety and mood problems. Studies show that digestive distress triggers stress responses that can undermine diazepam's therapeutic benefits, creating a situation where the medication's side effects actually counteract its intended purpose. Long-term users report persistent digestive problems that can continue even after discontinuing the medication, suggesting lasting changes to gut function. Next, side effect number 8. Depression and mood changes. Perhaps the most cruel irony of diazepam use emerges in research published in BMJ Open, revealing how a medication prescribed for anxiety can actually worsen depression and create new mood disorders. The study found that long-term benzodiazepine use is linked with increased depressive symptoms, creating a psychological trap that becomes increasingly difficult to escape. The neurobiological mechanisms behind this effect are particularly troubling. Research shows that diazepam's chronic enhancement of GABA activity leads to downregulation of natural GABA production and receptor sensitivity. This means your brain's natural mood regulation systems become dependent on external chemical support. And when that support is absent, depression can emerge or worsen significantly. Studies examining long-term diazepam users reveal a pattern of emotional numbing that goes beyond simple sedation. Patients report feeling disconnected from positive emotions, experiencing anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure, and developing a persistent sense of emotional flatness. Research indicates this isn't just a temporary effect, but can represent lasting changes in brain chemistry that affect quality of life profoundly. The mood changes also interact dangerously with diazepam's other effects. Clinical studies show that depression combined with cognitive impairment creates a particularly destructive cycle where patients lose motivation for recovery, while simultaneously losing the mental clarity needed to recognize their deteriorating condition. This combination has been linked to increased suicide risk, making depression one of diazepam's most dangerous long-term consequences. Next, side effect number 9. Falls and fractures in older adults. Our final revelation comes from research published in JAMA that should alarm anyone with elderly loved ones. The study found that benzodiazepine use, including diazepam, doubled the fall risk in elderly patients, transforming a simple medication into a significant threat to physical safety and independence. The research reveals a perfect storm of factors that make older adults particularly vulnerable. Diazepam's sedative effects combine with age-related changes in balance and coordination to create devastating consequences. Studies show that the medication's long half-life means impairment persists for hours after taking a dose, creating extended periods where falls become significantly more likely. Clinical data indicates that benzodiazepine-related falls often result in serious fractures, particularly hip fractures, that can be life-changing for elderly patients. Research published in multiple geriatric journals shows that these falls aren't just occasional accidents, but represent a systematic increase in injury risk that can rob older adults of their independence and quality of life. The most disturbing aspect of this research is how preventable these injuries are. Studies consistently show that discontinuing benzodiazepines in elderly patients leads to immediate improvements in balance and coordination, reducing fall risk significantly. Yet many older adults continue taking these medications because the withdrawal process itself poses risks, creating a medical dilemma where both continued use and discontinuation present dangers. The research is clear, and the evidence is overwhelming. Diazepam, despite its widespread prescription and acceptance, carries risks that extend far beyond what most patients understand. From cognitive impairment that may be permanent to physical dependence that can trap users in cycles of withdrawal and relapse. These 9 side effects represent just the beginning of what we know about this medication's true impact. The question isn't whether these effects are real. The research proves they are. The question is whether you and your loved ones are prepared to make informed decisions about diazepam use armed with this knowledge. Every prescription represents a choice between potential short-term relief and documented long-term risks. If this video was helpful, kindly type yes in the comment. That motivates us to produce more content like this. Remember to like this video, share it with others who might benefit from this information, and subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based health content. Your engagement helps us continue investigating and reporting on the hidden truths behind medications we're told are safe. Thank you for watching. And remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your health.